Hello, happy Sunday. It is part of the 12 days of Noonday that I have going on. This is day 3, and today we're going to feature Ethiopia, which is one of the companies that Noonday partners with. This woman's name is Cherry, and I wanted to read to you guys her story on the Noonday blog. You could read this for yourself, but I'm just going to read it for you, okay? Says, I was born and raised in Ethiopia's capital in a comfortable Christian home. I was surrounded by poverty, but not touched by it. After I graduated from university, I searched for a job for a year, but couldn't find one. Communism had just been overthrown in Ethiopia, and there were no opportunities to be had. During my year of unemployment, I had an experience that changed me forever. One night I was driving through the city with my family. Under the communist regime, we had a curfew of midnight. But now as we drove through our city late into the night, we saw the nightlife of Addis for the first time. As we were driving, we saw a girl on the street who was working as a prostitute. I noticed that she was very aggressively trying to get the attention of the car behind us. It really shook us up. My relatives started saying, how can anyone choose a life like this? That made me so angry. I thought, here I am with a degree and I can't find a job. How could she? What hope does she have with the current unemployment rate and lack of educational opportunities? My uncle began to agree with me and said, Cherry is right. We have no right to judge this girl. Rather, we have a responsibility to reach out to girls like her. That stuck with me, and I began to wonder what that would look like. Eventually, I was able to find a job, but the girl in the street kept popping in my mind. My heart really began to grieve for girls working as prostitutes and wanted to do something to help. I had an American friend who had the same desire in her heart. We took a couple of months to talk to people about the issue and learn, driving around to see what it really looked like on our streets. We were 2 women who knew nothing about prostitution, and everything we saw was so overwhelming for us. We discovered that there were 94,000 women in prostitution in the capital of Ethiopia alone. We were so overwhelmed by all of this that we decided to put all of the statistics aside. We decided we would just find 1 or 2 women on the streets and develop relationships with them. The first woman we approached as we drove through the city was very wary of us. We told her that we just wanted to spend some time with her and get to know her, but she replied, I can't waste my time. I have to support my kids. You have to pay me. She decided not to come with us. We drove away so discouraged, but we knew we had to keep going. The second girl we saw told us her name was Rosa. It was too late for coffee, but we said, can we take you out for a pizza? And she jumped right into the car. Everyone gave us such weird looks as we ate dinner together, but we had a lot of fun with her. We started visiting these 2 girls every Wednesday. The girl in the red skirt never warmed up to us, but she kept telling her friends about us. 6 more girls started showing up to meet with us, and within a few weeks we were meeting with 7 girls. They would tell us their stories, and we would cry and pray together. Over 2 to 3 months, they had become really desperate and began asking us to help them get out of this life. They said, if you can come once a week, you must care about us. What do you have to offer us? Among the women there were so many addiction and mental health problems. They wanted us to find them jobs, but they didn't have the skills. We realized we needed to find a tangible way to support these women. To create a source of income for them, we rounded up a few sewing machines and trained them to make mosquito nets. More and more girls were coming, ready to leave prostitution and begin new lives. I left my job and we started working with the women full time. My friend and I didn't feel like we knew what we were doing, but we did it anyway. Today, our little program has become an official organization called Alilta Women at Risk. We have worked with 600 women over the years with about 90% success rate. Our goal is to go deep with these women. We don't want to collect as many women as possible and not form personal relationships with them, then have them return to the streets. We go deep with counseling to help them overcome trauma and addiction, then move to skills training. The whole program takes a full year. We also have big vision for the children of the women who come to us. Our goal is to help break the cycle of poverty for these families. These children have been traumatized at least as much as their mothers. To help them grow into healthy adults, we do play therapy and are committed to helping children with learning disabilities. We have a child care center and a library to help them learn and thrive. Another of our big focuses is helping the women become better mothers. Most of them have never been mothered themselves, and many of them were domestically trafficked as children. In the rural areas, people are very poor, so families will sometimes let their children go with the people who claim to be able to give them a better life. But when the children arrive in the cities, they're trapped in domestic servitude and are unable to go to school. Many of them are abused and end up running away, and that's how 80 to 90% of the women in our program found themselves in prostitution. Because these women have never experienced unconditional love, they don't know how to show it to their children. So we work with them to become the best mothers they can be, and with hard work, they are changing. They want to take care of their kids and be good moms. We offer programs that teach them how to keep their kids clean and healthy, cook nutritious foods, discipline their children appropriately, and cherish their kids so they can grow up to have better lives. This skills training is another key component of our program. Noonday Collection has worked with us to develop a jewelry making workshop for the graduates of our program, where they can learn a craft and earn a dignified income, many for the first time in their lives. By creating jewelry out of artillery shell beads, they are learning to respect themselves and feel pride in the work they do. With a lot of work and patience, these women are building a better life for themselves and their children. There's several pieces that are made by these women in Ethiopia. They're beautiful pieces. A lot of people are very impacted by just the fact that the jewelry is made out of recycled or upcycled artillery shells that have been collected from around Ethiopia after wars that have been going on there for years. So I feel like, I'm just starting to learn about all of our partner countries and businesses in these different places, but Ethiopia's story has just been stuck with me. Cherry's story is amazing. I'm just so thankful that her response as a Christian woman was to say, this is our call and we need to step in and take care of these women that are vulnerable and at risk. And so, believe it or not, you guys, just by purchasing jewelry, are literally changing lives like that. You're getting people off the streets out of prostitution. You're getting children taken care of. You're breaking cycles just by shopping Noonday. And I'm so thankful to be a part of this. But I want to pray again. Would you just pray with me? Thank you, Papa, that you see all of the people in all of these vulnerable places, that poverty is such a vulnerable place, and that you want to rescue the poor. Your heart is so for the poor. Thank you, Jesus, that you hold all of the children in these women's lives, that you hold them in the pit of their heart where their childhood was stripped from them. Thank you, Jesus, that you make them whole in their souls and that their lives can follow suit. I just pray, Jesus, that these women would come to encounter you in the most tangible way possible, that they would have a relationship with you that's long and sustaining, and that would heal their hearts and their minds and sustain them in their jobs and as their mother. In Jesus' name. So every day of this 12 days of Noonday, I'm giving away a $10 gift card to Noonday Collection. And today's winner is Michaela Kendall. So Michaela won the $10 gift card today. And you are automatically entered if you are part of my Facebook group for Noonday, which is called Break Forth, as well as following my Noonday Instagram account, which is at Chelsea Noonday Ambassador. And then additional entries are made by either getting a date for a trunk show on the calendar with me. I'm thinking about my squawking baby. Commenting or liking on these live videos, and adding a friend to the Break Forth group, or sharing my Noonday Instagram account with a friend. So the better, the odds go up certainly by the additional entries, but if you're part of those two groups, if you're in the Facebook group and you're following my Noonday Instagram account, you're automatically entered each day. So share the goodness. I'm excited for you guys to get to shop this fall collection. If you're interested, I'll put a link to specifically to all the Ethiopian pieces so you can check those out. They're sweet. All right, love you guys.